Who's out there got that corona? No. How's everyone doing today? Uh,
Oh, wow.
yeah. All right, cool.
I still thought you were talking to the viewers, not gonna lie.
We weren't being told
kinda am.
specifically.
No, I feel it. For all of our viewers though, the game being streamed is Frostpunk. It's available on Game Pass if you're interested in picking it up. It's a strategy game. I think it's pretty cool. Now, let me go ahead and start with this episode with two quick things. This episode will be cut at 24 minutes in honor of Kobe. Beyond that, CleetiG has put up the official website. You'll find it under their announcements on our Discords, and on that you will also be able to find our newly set up Patreon. And that actually leads me into the first part of this episode. Is we have a contest coming up, or a contest now as of this episode, I apologize. And the contest will be for a $30 GameStop gift card. Now, to win this contest, how the contest will go is the 15th sub to our Twitch or 15th patron to our Patreon. We'll count them both. So, you know, 15th of either or. The 15th wins the $30 GameStop gift card. I apologize for stepping over my words. Now, the people that we have with us today, we have MX Double standing in for Rhea. Rhea was not able to make this episode. MX Double, you'll be my temporary co-host. Go ahead and say hi.
Yes, sir. Howdy do.
Dope, how you doing? It's dope. We also got Avi Bo. How you doing today?
Always doing great.
Yeah. I bet you're doing great after that W. We also got Lucky here from his team.
Hello.
Hello. And then on the actual, we also have Jay Feather from Davy's Delinquents too. So he also got to participate in that game on the opposite side though. But Jay Feather definitely was an MVP. How you doing, Jay Feather?
Pretty good. Wish you could have won, but can't get everything right.
True. And then for Rocket League this episode, we have Vice from Vice City. How you doing, Vice? Lit. All right. I'm excited. Now, 2 minutes in. Only 22 more. No, I'm kidding. So I'd like to start this episode by going over real quick what we're going over. So I like first topic is we'll be going over the CGSL CleetiG Cup finale. Following that, we'll be giving out new player advice. We have an ex-captain, a captain, and an admin and a captain in this party right now. So we're going to give out advice for new players just off the top of our heads. Following that, me and Vice, we're going to talk about, we're just going to speculate the pros and cons behind a Rocket League 10-point mercy rule. And then at the end of all that, I, off stream, got to interview Davies, the franchise owner to Davies Delinquents. I got to interview him about his new org and his transition from his previous one. And then, of course, at the end of the episode, I'm going to do a quick reminder for the contest, explain the next episode, date and time, and then we'll do shout-outs, so you guys get to do your shout-outs at the end of the episode as well. Now, sort of starting with... I'd like to start off with the CleetiG Cup Smite Season 1 finale. I'd like to start off with that discussion. This is going to be an open discussion. As long as we're not talking over each other, everything's fine. Sort of starting off with you, Jay Feather. I'm interested. How are you feeling? I guess Game 1, we can kind of start with that. How are you feeling in Game 1?
Well, Game 1, we went off to a really good start. I remember being like 5-0 at some point, I think, on Camazotz, but we had a really good 3v3 core going on. We got an early lead, but then team was able to pull around during the mid game, and they just kind of whooped us near the end.
You did get the first blood as Camazotz. I actually have it written down that you got it on Uppy Bo with him playing Osiris.
That's so true.
Nothing against you, Bo.
I would like to make a statement about that. team gave up 5 First Bloods and won 5 games in the playoffs. Y'all think First Bloods are good? They are bad.
Yeah?
Beat actually, I think
Alright.
in CleetiG, records might own the most given up First Bloods.
I'm pretty sure I'm pretty
Died the
close to
most.
the top for
Like
First
I'm pretty
Bloods
sure every
given up.
game that Lord played this season, he was First Blood.
But you know, it's important to give up First Blood because I don't want that 500 gold, so maybe they do.
Give the enemy some false confidence, right?
Yeah, that's what we did.
Yep.
OPE, that's what Jordan said. They felt
Is
good.
that what most of it is? Just giving them the false confidence of the lead at that
No,
point?
most of it, honestly, is I really suck at the early game, and my team doesn't support me. So they just kind of let me die.
Oof.
However,
Big oof.
I still think that like our drafts, at least for the game, were centered around the mid game and team fighting, and with our mid laner opting to go Book of Thoth instead of Boots Doomorb, we knew that we were going to essentially slow the game down until we wanted to fight, and then kind of just come together and 5-man team fight, because I think that was the first time those 5 players had all played together, was the finals.
It was the first time that we played in those roles. I would say,
in those
because like
roles.
other than that, came in pretty prepared for the game. So like when it got to like game 3, we actually knew like what the comfort picks were. So like when the Athena came out, I think like I told Eugene that they resorted to comfort picks at that point to try and beat us.
Yeah.
Like we came in very prepared for all our playoff games. Like the season games, we kind of just memed around. I think like once the playoffs game, we actually kind of just decided to get it together a little bit.
Yeah,
This
we
is
took a similar approach with Davies and Linkwitz. We tried doing as much research as we could on every team we fought. But I'll admit, you guys made it hard. You didn't really show that much in any of your games, to be honest, because like you said, you were beaming around, so it was really hard to like prepare and predict what you guys would do, and it clearly showed during the finals. Like once mid game rolled around, we weren't ready for your like mid game composition because we drafted way earlier than you guys did.
Yeah, we because obviously like I'm newer to the support role. We actually like knew like what I used to play in the solo lane, so we would do it that way. Like that gods that would team fight well within a 3v3, because when we have gaming fan, our team actually plays towards the solo side of the map to give him a lead. Because I think it's just more trust. When we give gaming a lead, he'll do his thing, but like with Bo, he can get first blood and he'll stay even, and we can just wait till he can rotate across. So like our
Triple
game
kill
plans
on
changed
Osiris.
our game plans changed on who was in the game, like what players were in the game. But also that's why builds changed as well. So like with us knowing that we were gonna really truly fight at 15 minutes, it allowed Eugene to build Book of Thoth, which is like obviously not normal. And I think like rewatching the VODs and stuff, Davies was saying that Poyo was our hard carry and that you guys were gonna ban out hunters against us. Like it was kind of like the opposite, because we knew that we weren't gonna really revolve around that side. We wanted to really defend our buffs and fight around gold, because that's what we noticed that you guys did a lot in your games. So we tried to draft comps that would give you guys a harder time. Ended up like me after that game 1 with Gamer, where he met me at red. I was like, all right, I'm meeting this guy at gold, and that's why like those last 2 games you saw me standing at gold fairy pit, so you couldn't just like try and steal it off us again.
See,
Like, we were
that's
just
funny.
making,
Is
like,
that
quick game adjustments.
we sent Gamer over to stop you from coming to our side because we thought that's what you were doing. So we were like, yeah, let's just have the support box it out of Gold Fury Pit every 2 games.
Yeah,
That's pretty funny.
And then I think it just kind of worked out the way that it happened. I'm pretty sure game 2, that Circuit, when we took it in the first round, I don't know about you guys, but we were thinking that you guys basically thought that we were taking that to the support role. And then you guys locked in Hebo and Usano, and then that's when we're like, all right, Circuit's going jungle, and we're going to pick a Peel God for support. So, like,
Yeah,
we
I
always
mean,
kind of had like extra
Yeah, we thought it was
ideas.
going support at first, and then as the draft kept going along, and I remember in the second ban phase, we did ban like Kepri, I think, because we were like, that's probably a Circuit jungle at this point, based off of like what our picks were. We were like because we wanted to draft like the Hebo and the Susanoo on the second ban like pick phase. We were like, well, maybe that's a Circuit jungle. So you were right that we at first we assumed it was just Circuit support just because it's been so prevalent in the meta, but as the draft like continued, we changed our mind.
Yeah, it was interesting. I think, at least from my standpoint of a tank, and this is just shout out to Jay Feather, all I wanted to do was just make sure he didn't pop off the entire game. So basically, once we team fought, I just headhunted Jay Feather the entire game.
Yeah, I was gonna say we kind of
pretty annoying.
I think that was our writing in team chat was that Jay Feather wins the game.
Yeah.
We knew if we could somehow like stop you from snowballing, we'd be able to control the rest of them. Because like it was like if we stop Jay from getting a huge lead, and I sit on top of Ghost and pressure him, because no other team pressured Ghost like we did. I'm pretty sure, like where they literally just sat on top of him.
Yeah.
Because that Hebo game, he was ulting away a lot of the times early. Like we just wanted to make his life like unfun.
Yeah, so we
So
tried
you say this game
drafting really early pressure because we noticed that like in a lot of your like games early on in the league games, you just snowballed super hard, and as a result, you're like 15 minutes in, you guys were like 5k up, and it was like ridiculous. So we were thinking, well, if we just draft hyper early pressure, even though like our team fight won't be as good mid to late game, we should be able to close with these games early and throw them off balance. And it was working, but once your guys' composition came on, it just destroyed us.
Yeah, I think we kind of went back to like how what's it called we're playing the hype unit, where how they were running the double mage consistently.
Old Panthera energy.
Yeah.
You guys were like get farmed for 15 minutes and then said, "Oh, it's time to fight. Here we go."
Yeah.
Yeah, we were doing. I think game one, it was like feeling our own team out, essentially, because like we've played with each other. You know, like everyone's basically in CleetiG season 1 has played with each other. So at that point, it's like seeing how all of us actually are gonna play and around each other and who's gonna shot call, and that was like our early problems in the game 1. That's why we ended up down like 7-0. It was because like.
Was there more than one person shot calling?
And we're trying to figure out who was gonna do what. So like I would call a target, and then it was like kind of like a stutter, you know,
well,
like we're gonna go on Jay right here, and then it was like a pause.
Right, I've been playing support for like 4 or 5 weeks for us, and my support is different than Lucky's support in that I don't play support. I just play solo lane with less farm. And so basically what Viztix was used to was just running after me, doing something stupid and cleaning up. And then, so he was doing that, but he didn't have, like our team wasn't there, so we were going in one at a time a lot of the times, which was leading to us getting picked off because I wasn't there doing something stupid, baiting like half the abilities from the other team.
We actually had a similar problem on our team too. Because like Ghost was like a waste. We had a lot of subs during most of our league games, almost every league game I think. Yeah. And even during the finals, we had ADC subs, so it was really different. Like Ghost wasn't. We were used to like Lalo in mid because Lalo was our ADC sub that game. We were used to Lalo in mid for a couple games because that's what we closed the season with, and then it was different trying to get the comms work back in, and then. When it came to ADC, we were so used to Scarred being like the consistent pillar that like when he wasn't there, it kind of felt like everything was like off tilter a little bit. But like and that's why that's a big reason why like the mid game fights fell through is that the communication just started breaking down and we didn't know how to like communicate during mid fight because there was so many different people saying so many different things and we couldn't figure it out in time.
All right, MXW, you here?
Yes, sir.
So you know you've been captain, and beyond that, you play on teams. How important would you say, in your opinion, communication is?
I think communication is, if not more important than like individual skill, individual player skill.
Agree with that.
That's interesting.
I'd say that's.
Yeah, cool.
I think our communication on team as a whole, like we're just a like 6 guys that just kind of like we just meshed. No reason. Like we didn't scrim, we didn't do anything together, other than maybe play arena together every now and then. You know, like it was just for some reason when we show up on game day, it's just like one of those things that you just click. You know, I think that kind of helped a lot too for us.
Yeah. Now, is there anything you guys could have done different, starting with you, Bo, that would have changed the outcome of the game that you can talk about off the top of your head?
Yeah,
Anything that, like, really gets you?
not giving up first blood two out of the 3 games. No, there's a play I made that was literally like the most ranked play I've made in a really long time. And I Yorm-ulted, and I tried to Yorm-ult guess where Achilles was ulting, and I ended up ulting about halfway into his tower and died to a tower shot while he just watched me.
Oh, that's the solo kill?
Yeah, that's the solo kill, is that I completely guessed where he was trying to ult, and he went left and I went right, and I landed about halfway through the tower and took 2 tower shots and died.
Alright.
I wouldn't have done
Unlucky.
that.
Big sad.
Yeah.
Alright. Anybody else have anything off the top of their head? Lucky?
We would have changed?
Yeah, anything you can think of, like maybe off the top of your head you picked a god that didn't even like end up working out for yourself. Just anything really.
Not that I know of. I think we kind of, other than game 3, I wanted to snap block the Ymir, because I knew that we were gonna win that game. I was feeling myself at that point, you know. I was in the hype, and next thing you know, the voice of reason, Poyo, who doesn't say any words during picks and bans, goes, "Stop trolling," and so I couldn't pick it.
Unlucky.
Yeah.
It's funny as shit. It's funny as shit. You have anything on your side, Jay Feather?
I think just practice. We didn't have any natural synergy like team did. You know, they were the better team. No pun intended.
Really?
There's like no shame in losing to a team that's just better than you. So I think
David.
I think we just needed to practice more.
Go on.
Honestly.
Yeah.
It was like we didn't have as much practice as we could have, especially since like every other game we had like a sub or something like that. So trying to make it all mesh together at the end was just asking for a little bit too much.
No, of course. Now that's I like your answer. That's gonna be wrapping up on the SL CleetiG Cup finale. Do you guys have any closing comments before we kind of move on to the rest of the episode?
I'd like to just give a shout out to everyone involved in all of the playoffs and the season in general, because we had some rough patches, but we actually pulled out a pretty decent end.
Now, what's funny is I wasn't originally gonna have you on the episode, so I got a quote for you on your W.
Oh yeah.
You've basically already been here quoting it, speaking of it. So you did ask before the episode started if it was okay if you could announce your new position for season 2. If you would like to do that now, now would be a good time.
I'm pretty sure most people know my colors changed, but I am retiring from captaining because I don't think it's gonna get better than this, and I'm gonna take over as an admin for the Smite Discord, and I've already written up I think 15 different documents for season 2. On how
and then you also organized like a master document where everything is, correct?
Yeah, well, we have a stat sheet that charts how everyone's doing, and I came up with like Rocket League has the same thing that Slim did, but I came up with like a rating system based on all of the different stats that Smite's in-game screen gives out, so that it tells you like how good you played. Like I'm pretty sure J Feather is rated like 1.6, and I think the highest rating in the playoffs was a 3 by Gaming Fan. Yeah, like I think Jay's in top 5. Like Jay, Lucky, and I are all in top 5 for the playoff performances.
So we're winding down to the last 4 minutes real quick. Not real quick though. Now since we have so many big heads here, not big heads, I guess heads of CleetiG, big people in CleetiG. Do you guys have any advice for anybody that's new to CleetiG, new to not even specifically Rocket League or Smite side? I can start off. I'd like to say that, and I think Bo, you even spoke about this with the Willix. a good way to get noticed in CleetiG is just by being active in the Discords.
Yeah. The
Mhm,
people
mhm.
that need to know who you are will know who you are if you talk.
Yeah. Also, be in as many prospect games as you can. I know we're moving towards the CGCL for Rocket League, so prospect games aren't exactly the same thing as they were. But just be as active as you can, and captains and anybody who is in charge, anybody who's supposed to notice you will notice you if you're out there.
Don't have an ego
Would you say
too.
that's
Yeah.
Yeah, I
don't
would
have an
say
ego? Yeah,
if
that's a
you
good
leave
one.
the ego at the door, it makes life a lot easier, I think.
No one wants to
Hmm.
pick up someone who's always like boasting about how great they are. You know, show it. Don't say, like tell, don't show, or
Oh,
show, don't
Yeah.
tell.
my big thing across the board is that I know for a fact that when I drafted like later, when I had already had the people I wanted, I literally was just like,
Mm.
Awelix, who's easy to work with? Because Awelix has all of the Discord chats. Like admins have all the Discord chats, and if someone
Yeah.
asks us our opinion of you, we're not gonna straight up lie. Like
Yeah.
we're gonna tell people what we think. So
So just
no,
behave and people be interested in you.
yeah.
Yeah. Now, I'm sure we could do more on this, but we're on 21 minutes, and we're cutting it at 24 still for Kobe. So, real quick, Vice, are you here with us? So, there was speculation of there being an introduction of a new rule for a 10-point mercy rule. 10, like if you have a 10-point lead, just getting the W in Rocket League games. What would you say are some quick pros and cons to that? Or are you for it or against it, what have you? Anything to say on the rule? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, alright. Yeah, which is almost like the point of, well, which is like why the rule is brought up, honestly, I think. Alright, alright. I can appreciate that. Mm-hmm. Alright. Yeah, I can see that too. Mm-hmm. Alright. Yeah, I can agree with that. Now, we're at 23 minutes. Real quick, I'm gonna go over Davies' interview that I did off stream about his new org. Kind of bullet pointing almost. I did ask him what his new team name is, the name of the org and team. Uh, it's Al Albion Giants. Albion Giants. It's definitely hard for me to pronounce, and I read like a sixth grader. But Albion Giants, that's pretty cool. I did ask him if he was retaining any of the same team members or if they were going to be disappearing in the Switch. He said yes. Beyond that, I got to ask him if the Switch is going to affect him personally. He said it's exciting him. I asked him the benefits he has with all of this. He said he gets paid contracts, merch, and a paid coach, which is super exciting. I did have a few more things. I'd be able to do that. I intend to write an article on this. Now, real quick, it's 24 minutes. Contest reminder, it's going to be the 15th sub, $30 GameStop gift card. I appreciate everybody that was on the episode today. Episodes are every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern.